Well guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today I'm canning chicken again, and I'm doing a little bit differently, and I've got some information that might be useful for you, so please stay tuned. If you like these kind of videos, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to check the links below because I'll have some important links down there for you. I've got my mailing address, my Facebook page. If you can't find me on Facebook, just look up Linda's Pantry and you'll find me. So yesterday I got 80 pounds of Zaycon chicken, and the link to Zaycon Fresh is down there as well, where you can go sign up for free. They'll notify you of an event in your area. If you're interested, you can purchase bulk, top quality bulk meats. So I got 40 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs and 40 pounds of chicken wings. And the wings, we've got a big party coming up, and so those I'll have no problem getting through those. The thighs, we had some for dinner out of this 10-pound bag last night, and they're delicious and moist, and oh my gosh, they were great on the barbecue. But I do want to put some back because I don't have any more thigh meat canned up, and I like to do it this way. It tastes delicious, it makes the best soups, and pot pie is off the chart. Let me open my dishwasher here. I've got my canning jars are in there in the dishwasher, so my All-American canner is back on the stove, all ready to rock and roll. I've got 3 inches of water in the bottom with a glug of vinegar to keep my jars nice and clear. And these fillets are partially frozen. Makes it easier to cut them. I've trimmed as much fat as I can, and I like to par cook my meats. I've done raw packing, and it's fast now, but you have to scrub that jar, and it doesn't look as pretty in the jar. So let's say somebody is coming over for dinner and you've got that jar sitting out with what looks like a science experiment. They're not going to be that ready to eat it. But if you do it the way I'm doing it today, it's beautiful. It tastes so much better. Raw packed chicken, to me, when you open it, smell it, and taste it, it could easily be confused with albacore tuna. When you do it this way and you par cook it, you don't have to cook it all the way through, about, anywhere from 1/3 to 2/3 way through. It tastes like chicken and it's delicious. So spend the extra time in the beginning and you'll be so much happier with the end result. Okay, so these are partially frozen. I'm doing chunks. I could do bigger, but I don't want to. And like I said, I've trimmed a little bit of the fat. I'm going to leave some of it on there. I've got a little paring knife here to get some more of that fat off, and that goes in this little container, and off of probably 8 pounds, maybe 8.5 pounds of chicken, that's how much fat I got off of there, and that will go out to the chickens. They will love it. So I'm just cutting this up. I'm gonna par cook this in the oven. It seems to be the easiest way. Throw your oven on 400 and let her rip for a while till you get them, where they've all lost that pink hue and they're all opaque, and you'll have to stir them a couple of times. Now, I've got a broth that I'll be putting in the jars with the chicken back on the stove, and that is some broth. I cooked down a couple of backs and wings and made some chicken stock, and I added it's a tomato and chicken bouillon. It's got a great flavor, adds a little bit different zip, some herbs de Provence and some dried parsley, and so it's going to be more of a herby chicken. But like I said, when you make a pot pie, oh my goodness, you just use that broth and thicken it. Delicious. And who doesn't like juicy chicken thighs? I don't know who doesn't, but okay. And then I don't put any salt in the jars because that bouillon has plenty of salt to it. So my broth was not overly, I added no salt to that, but it wasn't overly intense, so I went ahead and added the bouillon. Just another way to do it. It makes it very pretty in the jar. It's got a slight orangey hue to it, so because of the tomato. So I'm going to clean this up. We're going to get this in the oven. I've got my jars in the dishwasher, and I'm going to use 1.5 pint jars. Now, they'll fit 8 in my canner instead of doing quarts, which would only fit 7. And it's good size. If you're gonna make a big family size pot pie, it's perfect amount. It makes a great chicken salad. I use this for stir fry. I also actually have made a batter and fried them and had like chicken nuggets, and they're delicious. So if you want to see any of those recipes, please leave me a comment in the comment section. All right, guys, let's get to canning, because that's all I think I've been doing this week. But you know what? I can put this back. I've still got room in the freezer, and I may can another 10 pounds. So, and if I do that, I'll do it a little bit different way with a little bit different flavor profile. So maybe you guys can come along for that one too. Let me know. I'll have if you want more canning videos, I'll put a poll card up in the, well, it's over here, in the iCard above. And I'll also link other canning videos as well. So I'll have some questions for you. Just take that little poll and say, yes, I want more canning videos. No, I don't. So far, I get asked all the time. So, and it's fun. I hope it inspires you. Okay. So guys, as you can see, I've started the canning process. My meat was in the oven for about a half an hour, and I put it on at 500 degrees. So I've got my my jars unpacking, and just go ahead and put your meat in there. You want an inch of headspace, and debubble. Make sure that your meat is all under the broth. And if I can't fill the canner with what's in here, because there is some shrinkage, if I cannot fill my canner, I'm going to throw in some black beans into the remaining jars, because they would be for the exact same amount of time. So we need a little napkin. I've got a bowl of vinegar here, white vinegar, and that will go in my canner. Even though I've got vinegar in there, I always do another glug of vinegar, and that way I don't forget, because if you forget, your jars are going to become cloudy, and then you've got to deal with that. So I'm doing both Tatler lids and button top lids, and the button tops are the newer ones, so you don't have to simmer them. You do need to simmer the Tatlers though, those gaskets. Look how pretty. It's already beautiful. It's got the herbs floating around in there. Yum. Okay, I'm going to put this in the canner. Now my canner is hot, but it's no hotter than this. This is hot to touch. I don't want to carry it. But my canner's not any hotter than that. You want to try to keep them as close to the same temperature as possible. Temperature shock will cause your jars to evacuate liquid. You know, you don't want it to come down off of pressure too fast, and there you go. So I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to bring you in close. So let's get another jar loaded with chicken meat. And I try to drain off any of the broth that it created, because it'll kind of make it look funny at the bottom. You know, you'll get like sediment, I guess you'd say. So, and I can tell you, I don't think we're going to get 8 jars out of this. So, black beans it is. I'm okay with that though. And I've got 30 pounds more of this. Go ahead and get your jar packed pretty good with your meat. And then I'm going to bring it over here and put my broth in. Hope you can see that. Oh, let me move that. There we go. Look how pretty. So each jar is going to take about a cup of broth. Make sure you debubble with a plastic tool of some sort, even a plastic butter knife, you know, will work. And I'm not going to pack these as tight as I possibly can, because all I really need in here is about 1 pound of meat, which is what you're going to get, being you've got stock in here, or broth. I want that broth to make gravy or to use in my soup. Let me get another hot jar. And put that over there. Wipe the rim with the vinegar. 1 inch of headspace. And it is time to put another lid on. And that's how easy this is. Oh, you know what? Let's do a Tatler lid so you guys can take a break from watching me do this. Okay, Tatler lids. It's a two-piece lid for those of you that are new. There's a rubber gasket here, and that's what seals the jar. These are reusable about every 10. So you really want to center that lid on your jar. And then you're going to take your ring and get finger tight, tighten it, and then back off just a smidge. Now the instructions say 1/4 inch, but I don't know that I actually go that far. But I have had excellent results with this. I've never had any scary situations. I know that a lot of people do. If this jar comes out of the canner and it's hissing, or let's say I can tell it's hissing in the canner, I'll leave it inside that canner until everything is cooled off. And I don't care if it doesn't get sealed. It's not worth risking getting burnt, because you do have to tighten these when they come out of the canner. So it's going into my pressure canner. We're going to can this at 15 pounds of pressure for my altitude. And these are going to go for 90 minutes once the pressure canner's been vented for 10 and it comes up to pressure with the 15-pound weight. 90 minutes, because these are larger than a pint. There's no real timing yet for these. So that being said, let's get to finishing this job up. Okay, so now I've got black beans. It only made 6 1.5 pint jars, and that's because we had dinner last night, and I'm gonna put 2/3 of a cup of dry black beans in each jar. I've already sorted and rinsed these, and I know it doesn't look like enough, but you definitely don't want to overfill with beans, because they are going to rehydrate. And then we've got to get our funnel. I'm going to go ahead and use my broth that I have left, because I don't want to waste it. It'll help flavor the beans. And if I want to make, let's say, a black bean soup or a tortilla soup, I've got the chicken and the black beans already seasoned. And I'm not wasting. So there's that. Fill this jar. And I think I'm going to have the perfect amount by the time I fill the next jar. Oh, I'm excited. These are going to be delicious. Black beans are so good to have on your shelf. So a 1-inch headspace, and get your lid on. Ring. Finger tight. And in the canner, it's good. So guys, it's the next morning, and I'm doing the video this way because I wanted to show you what your jars you could expect to see the next morning, because things change. You know, when you first take it out of the canner, everything is expanded, and so your headspace may change, the clarity may change. So I thought maybe I would do it this way this time to change it up a bit for you guys. So 4 of these have Tattler lids, and 4 have the regular button top lids that you can buy. And my headspace stayed the same on my chicken. And look how beautiful that chicken is. It's got that beautiful clear, well, you can see through it, clear broth. The pieces are all separate. It really is absolutely beautiful. So I'm excited to be able to bring a recipe to you for this. And my very next video should be the recipe that I'm going to use this in. So, and if I like how this comes out, then I'm going to can up some more. So the Tattler lids, I always put the label on the front, and the button top lids, I put the label on the top of the lid, so I don't ever reuse this lid. You could reuse it for dry canning if you don't bend it. The beans lost a little bit of headspace, about 1/4 inch, but I believe it's because they continue to absorb liquid even after they're canned. They kind of are trying to suck up that liquid. But look how nice these beans came out. Absolutely beautiful black beans. And Strut wants out. I can make tortilla soup with these, black bean soup, many different things, or just have them as a side dish with some rice. So I hope it inspires you to go ahead and try your hand at canning. This was a very successful canning session. My headspace all stayed the same, except for the beans lost a little bit. but not anything critical. They're still all submerged under the broth. And the chicken came out stunning. I can't wait to eat it. I'm excited to try it. Now, I've washed my jars and labeled them. I definitely wash your jars with hot soapy water, because even though, you know, I didn't lose any headspace, you do have some seepage, not a lot, but a little bit of seepage in your canner. And if you have your canner running too high, too hot, that cool down is too rapid and causes your jars to evacuate more liquid. So try to run your canner, once you get it up to speed, run it at the lowest temperature on your stove that you can, and you'll have less headspace change. And hopefully that makes sense. So they all came out just perfect. I'm super excited. And yeah, I can't wait to see you next time. I hope if you're not a subscriber and you like these kind of videos, you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment in the comment section what you'd like to see next. And if you want to see the recipe on how I use this chicken for the first time, let me know in the about section as well, or comment section. And yeah, let's get to gardening, because gardening is also next on the list. But we have a rototiller that's broke down, so I don't know. We'll see. All right, I'll see you on the next video.